a completely new way of experiencing the video game concept, as well as incorporating it into the experience of the movie.
Damn, not who I was hoping for.
The boys had this very unique idea about the video game, that they wanted to make the video game directly related to the movie. Enter the Matrix is written by the boys, directed by the boys, cut by the boys. So they're actually directly involved in the making of the video game, which was their idea from the beginning, which has never been done before.
This is Thaddeus, captain of the Osiris. We're going to attempt an emergency broadcast drop in the Matrix.
Sparks, I want the ship's guns online right now.
Command.
First mention of the video game was that it was like a third movie. And it had this whole amazing, intricate story weaved into the stories in the movies.
Operator.
Get me out of here, Sparks. I've got agents right behind me.
Oh, I can't watch this.
You've basically taken Reloaded and expanded it out into two parallel stories, not just the film, not just the game. They're actually fully connected in every way.
Uh-oh, heads up, guys, incoming.
The Wachowskis had a piece of story to tell that they didn't really have time for in a 2-hour movie, where they would have told it if they had a 3-hour movie, and we get to do it in the video game.
Get to your exits. I was like, how are they gonna shoot all of this? They're gonna shoot 2, 3, and this video game script.
Everybody has been able to work together to make the most incredible game you've ever played.
Larry and Andy insisted that the same, incredible kind of resources that are used on a film set were used for this video game footage. That meant that all the same equipment was used, the same film stock, that the same actors, all the same crew. There were hundreds of people on this set, and they're working on a video game.
Wu Ping and his crew were working on all the fight choreography of the movie. We're also doing all the fight choreography of the game.
We used Master Wu Ping and his team to take fight moves to another degree. It gives such an enormous variation to the player.
The fight moves we have are so much further beyond your standard kicks and punches that you've seen in a game. They're just sort of mind-blowing moves that Master Wu would choreograph for us.
When you're playing this video game, you're actually going to be playing his stunt actors just delivering fantastic three-dimensional fighting moves. We could have faked it with some stunt people in Hollywood, but it just wouldn't have been the same.
In this game, we're trying to actually go from beginning to end so that the fight moves end up being unique and different almost every single time.
Each character has hundreds more moves than the average fight game, 500-600 moves per character.
On top of it all, the camera moves were directed by Larry and Andy, so that a cool action moment takes on that flair that it would in a film.
In a video game, usually they'll just stick the camera here and it'll attach to the guy's head and it'll follow him perfectly as he moves, which isn't cinematic.
Because they wanted to make this more film-like, we had Larry and Andy actually directing the cameras that are in the gameplay, where they exist as characters walk around in the game. There's visual effects in the game. Unique visual effects.
The visual effects we're doing for the game, we're treating no differently. They're done to the same level of quality, the same resolution, done by the same companies from the movie.
It's good to be home.
You're going to see versions of shots that you'll find in the movie sort of reworked from Ghost and Niobe's point of view.
You don't have $1 million visual effects shots in games normally.
Ghost create distraction.
Movie license games, if they're lucky, the character looks like the actor who was in the film, but usually they don't even get the rights to use that likeness.
You don't get an engaging performance, and that's something that's entirely new here. Real actors giving real performances, real stories.
This mission is suddenly looking very...
Listen, I'm gonna take the lead along that path to draw them out. You nail them as soon as they show themselves.
It's gonna raise the bar for what people understand to be a fight game in the same way that the Matrix film raised the bar in terms of what people saw as a fight sequence.
You do not truly know someone until you fight them.
David Perry, who was their personal choice for designing the game, wanted to make a game that no one has ever seen.
Movie games are generally not as well received because the game isn't quite the experience of the movie.
Chinese always sort of prided themselves on not doing sequels or not doing licensed games.
When I saw what they did inside their script and the story just goes off, the rabbit hole effectively just starts going deeper, then I really bit.
So we threw all our sort of corporate philosophy out the window and went after this just because it's different than a license, you know.
We've made a game that has exploration, it has shooting, it has fighting, flying, driving, hacking.
And on top of that, you get the hour-long Matrix movie interspersed within the game that you can't see anywhere else.
I need to talk to Morpheus.
Believe me, Niobe, he needs you.
Where is he?
Just follow the sirens.
Let's go.
Larry and Andy actually decided which pieces are going to be dramatic and which pieces are going to be gameplay sections from a perspective of a gamer. They're doing it because they personally would love to sit down and play those sections of the game.
Destroy them.
You gotta see it. I mean, you gotta see it. When you grab hold of those controls and when you start punching those buttons, I mean, you'll see you can do things you've never done before.
There's a lot of things revealed in our game that this is the only place you're going to find it out. There's also some glimpses of movie 3, which I think you'll find interesting.
The brothers made it clear that they viewed the game as not just a merchandising deal like you would do making a Matrix lunchbox, but they really thought of it as what's going to be the most fun for the gamer and what's going to be a really fun game to play.
Man, reality can be a bitch.
Tell me about it.
That is hot.
If we fail, Neo fails. So are you red or blue on this?
In the beginning, there was man. Then man made the machine in his own likeness. Thus did man become the architect of his own demise.
Coming this June on DVD and video from the creators of the Matrix trilogy. What is the Animatrix?
We know the truth now.
Experience the extraordinary fusion of CG animation and Japanese anime in a groundbreaking collection of 9 animated stories from 7 visionary directors that takes the world of the Matrix to its unimaginable limits.
I'm going back to the Matrix, and I want you to come with me.
The Second Renaissance. The machines earned no respect from their masters. The machines worked tirelessly to do man's bidding. It was not long before seeds of dissent took root.
Hand over your flesh. The new world awaits you.
Kill them all! May there be mercy on man and machine for their sins. Program.
What's real doesn't matter.
I won't look away from the truth. I can't.
Running away won't change anything!
You betrayed us, didn't you?
It's just a matter of time before Zion is wiped out.
Kid's story.
They're coming for you. Get out. Get out now. This is not real. The real world lies somewhere else.
World record. Only the most exceptional people become aware of the Matrix.
Take your mark!
I have an unstable signal.
It's the last chance for me to prove them wrong. He cannot wake up. Do not let him wake up.
place is haunted. You know you're not supposed to go in there.
You don't belong here.
Let go!
Seal the area off now.
Detective story.
I have a job for you. I'm looking for a computer hacker alias Trinity.
Trinity doesn't exist.
I knew this was some kind of trap.
You've stepped to the edge of the looking glass. Matriculated.
We won't beat the machines by making them our slaves. Better to let them join us by choice.
That world we show them isn't real.
To an artificial mind, all reality is virtual.
Come on, damn it, help me!
Final flight of the Osiris.
Sentinels. There's thousands of them.
Directly above us. Zion has to be warned. Go. Go.
Come get some.
Fly, baby. Fly.
Hang on!
The Animatrix. A mind-bending excursion into the world of the Matrix. This June, discover how deep the rabbit hole really goes.
アニマトリックス DVD 特別版2980円絶賛発売中。
This is Thaddeus, captain of the Osiris, and I fear this will be our last transmission. We are under heavy pursuit and have sustained critical damage. We are going to attempt an emergency broadcast drop in the Matrix. All we can do is hope that somehow this disc reaches Zion, and if it does, it's not too late.
Whatever's in that box cost Thaddeus his life and the lives of his crew. And I have a feeling if we don't get to it first, it's gonna cost us a whole lot more.
There is only one way to enter the Matrix.
We're in.
On May 15th.
You're here.
The next evolution of interactive entertainment has you.
Let's go.
Enter the virtual world of the Matrix. A parallel universe to the Matrix Reloaded.
Actions that take place in the game that you move through and play affect the film plot.
Packed with 1 hour of exclusive footage.
In the video game, there's certain information that you don't get from the movie.
Written and directed by Larry and Andy Wachowski, the creators of the Matrix trilogy.
It's a very special key, meant only for the one. Will you bring it to him? What does it unlock? The future.
If we fail, Neo fails, and that cannot happen at any cost.
Battle alongside the original motion picture cast.
Niobe, please be careful.
As careful as I can be.
On a mission that comes down to one question.
So are you red or blue on this?
In the war to save Zion, what part will you play?
What do you think will happen after that?
I don't know. But I got a feeling it's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Enter the Matrix. The future is now in play.